On the evening of April 23, 2018, inside a quiet suburban neighborhood in Radnor Township, Pennsylvania, two women were about to take their final breaths. At exactly 7:15 p.m., police would arrive to find a scene so shocking, so calculated, that it felt less like a crime of passion and more like the ending to a tragedy written long before that night. This is the story of Junaire and Mark Jaradette, a marriage that began as young love but spiraled into obsession, betrayal, and ultimately, murder-suicide. Mark Jaradette first noticed Junaire in the summer of 1986, back in Fort Wayne, Indiana. She was just 16, working at a Taco Bell. He was 18, awkward, shy, but instantly drawn to her energy. Junaire was bold, free-spirited, the kind of girl who didn't follow anyone's rules. Mark thought about her long after that summer, regretting that he hadn't made a move. And fate, as it often does, intervened. 4 years later, their paths crossed again. This time, Mark found the courage to ask her out. And from that moment, the two became inseparable. At first, their marriage was everything Mark had dreamed of. Junaire was supportive, creative, and fiercely loyal. But over time, her independence shifted into something darker: possessiveness, control, and suspicion. The free spirit Mark once adored became someone who couldn't bear the thought of losing him. And that fear would only grow stronger when another woman entered the picture. In 2018, Mark began working under a dynamic, younger boss named Meredith Chapman. Meredith was intelligent, ambitious, and confident, qualities that reminded Mark of Junaire's younger self. But what started as professional respect soon evolved into something more, an affair that Mark tried to justify, but couldn't hide forever. Junaire noticed the changes immediately. Late nights at work, secretive text messages, the kind of silence that only comes when two people have drifted too far apart. And Junaire, unwilling to accept betrayal, began a plan of her own. She placed GPS trackers on Mark's car. She recorded his phone conversations. She bugged his clothes. For weeks, she studied him like prey, documenting every move, every lie, every step closer to Meredith. But Junaire wasn't just preparing evidence. She was preparing for revenge. On April 23rd, armed with a disguise and a .357 revolver, she slipped into Meredith Chapman's home. Hours later, when Meredith walked through her front door, Junaire was waiting. 2 gunshots echoed through the quiet house. One struck Meredith. The other ended Junaire's own life. By the time Mark arrived, the nightmare was already written in blood. On the kitchen floor lay the woman he loved, and the wife who could not let him go. 2 families destroyed. A husband left with nothing but guilt, shame, and the haunting memory of the life he once dreamed of. The story of Junaire Jaradette is not just about jealousy or betrayal. It's about how love can twist into obsession, how control can turn into desperation, and how one decision can end lives in an instant. A tragic reminder that when trust shatters, sometimes there is no way back.